All right, well, it is that time of the month again, the start of the month, when it is time for us to go and complete our budget and stuff our cash envelopes. Oh, and of course, if we haven't had the chance to hang out before, my name is Nikki, and I love sharing all of the tips and tricks that have helped our family budget better, demolish all of our debt, skyrocket our savings, and still have heaps of frugal fun along the way. Now, if that sounds like something that you might be interested in, I would love for you to join us here for all the fun. You might even hit that little subscribe button down below so you can be notified when my new videos come out. All right, but let's talk about February and what's happening in our cash envelopes for February. Okay, so this month we are doing a spending freeze as part of our February mini savings challenge. So before we jump in and look at the categories that we are going to fill today and which ones we're not going to fill, I will just point out too that we don't do a complete cash budget. We only do cash envelopes for certain categories in our budget, and they are primarily the ones that are variable expenses and have multiple transactions or purchases throughout the month. It's just easier to track it that way. We still use card for some expenses, and of course we have some transactions that are handled in our bank account or via BPay. So primarily things that are going on straight in our card or our account are things like utilities and phones and internet. We don't pay for those things with cash. They all go onto our card. And anything that's coming out of a sinking fund. So if we have an expense that has to do with car maintenance, that is going to come out of our car maintenance sinking fund, and that is going to happen on our card. So we do a split budget, part cash, part card, which is why I really am loving this wallet from Treasury. It's got compartments for all of our cards, but it also has this great section at the back to put all of our cash envelopes, which I love, and a coin wallet built into the middle, which is absolutely fantastic. Let's jump in and have a look at what's happening in our cash envelopes for February and which ones we will be filling and which ones we will not. So if you haven't checked out my February mini savings goal video, I will link that down below as well, and you can see what we are doing there to put a little bit extra into the bank this month. But we will be filling groceries, fuel, family fun, clothing, personal care, and splash today. What we won't be filling is our date night envelope, our eating out envelope, our alcohol envelope, and our miscellaneous spending allowance. So we haven't been really allocating anything to alcohol, eating out, and date night very much the last 6 months. So these categories, it's pretty easy for us not to spend money in those categories, but miscellaneous is going to be a bit of a challenge for us. So I'm going to put those ones aside. And miscellaneous is not going to be funded this month because we will be funneling all of that money into our savings account as part of our February mini savings challenge. So again, if you'd like to hear more about that, then maybe go and check out the video on our February spending challenge, which I will link down below. So let's start with groceries, and I'm going to allocate $400 for groceries again for February. That is for our family, which is primarily a family of 3. We do have our adult son who is working full-time, who does live with us, but he pretty much buys all of his own food, so I don't really count him in that calculation. And what I would like to do in February as well is cap our grocery budget at $50 a week and use up the rest of the things that we have in the pantry and the freezer. So I'm hoping that I might be able to save maybe another $200 out of groceries this month as well. But that's an additional little savings challenge. I have allocated the full $400, so we'll see how we go. Next up is fuel, and I'm going to put $150 aside for fuel. That is for our 2 cars, one of which is a 4-wheel drive, and we also live out of town, so we have to do a few Ks to get in and out of town and to appointments and run errands and all of that sort of stuff. So that is our fuel allocation for February. Family fun, I am going to allocate $70 to family fun this month. If we don't need to use it for anything, which at this point we don't, I'm going to let this envelope build up, and we will either do some sort of activity as a family or use it for extra fuel to go camping or something along those lines for family fun. Our clothing allocation has been completely wiped out. We did do some clothes shopping for Shannon and myself in January, and we used all of the money that was in our clothing allocation. So I'm going to allocate $50 this month, and we're going to let this build back up again, and then when somebody needs some more clothing or shoes, we will have money aside to be able to go and do that. So rebuilding the clothing sinking fund. Personal care is our category for things like shampoo, conditioner, toothpaste, deodorant, but also haircuts and anything else that would come out of personal care. So I'm going to put $50 aside in there. So that is one of the things I do get asked a lot. Personal care items, although we buy them from the supermarket, our grocery allocation is really just for food, and it's not even for treats and chocolate and ice cream and soft drink and all of those sorts of things. It really just is for food for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and fruit and things like that. So personal care comes out of a different category, and cleaning products I usually buy in bulk, and I will allocate that in a month where it needs to be purchased. So that will be a cash flowed expense when it comes up if we need to buy washing powder or cleaning products and things like that. So groceries is really just food, which is why we're able to keep it so low. Personal care covers any kind of personal care expense. And last but not least, we have our splash cash, which is our discretionary personal spending money. Shannon and I both get $50 each. I will give Shannon his $50 to go and put in his wallet, and I will keep my $50 splash cash in my splash cash envelope. And our splash cash is for us to spend on whatever it is that we want. So we typically will use our splash cash to buy things like treats and ice cream and junk food. We can use it for eating out if we want to, or coffees. We can save it up and buy something that we want for ourselves rather than having it come out of a different category. And we can just use this for whatever we want. The other person doesn't even need to know what we are doing with our splash cash. It is none of their business. And that is why we have that. So it's ours to spend however we want on whatever we want. But that is February in a nutshell. It's pretty quiet this month at our place. We are going to do a spending freeze for February and try and save as much as we can. And I am going to try and even squeeze a little bit extra out of groceries. All right, well, there you have it. That is February in a nutshell. Again, there isn't a lot going on in our cash envelopes because we really are focusing on getting as much into our savings account as we can so we can continue to work towards that really big goal of saving up and buying a house. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time here with me today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, if you would please give it a thumbs up. I really do appreciate that. It lets me know the kind of content that you guys are enjoying and what you would like to see more of. And don't forget, if you would like to see more videos like this, then maybe go ahead and hit that little subscribe button down below. It is the best way to be notified when my new content comes out, and I have heaps of new things in the works for you guys for 2021. All right, well, I hope you have a fantastic week, and I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye.